I want to talk about the positive influences I've had on my spiritual and healing journey. More the spiritual, but what you'll find with a spiritual journey is it forces you to focus on your healing journey. Effectively, you become a higher vibration, a higher state of self. So, you start to push away from the sort of habits, the tendencies, and sometimes the people that just hold us back. And that forces us to go on that healing journey. I've had some incredible people along my journey who have inspired me. Some don't even know of me. I've just seen content. And that was at the early stages. I'm more on like a solo journey now. I sort of innately know a lot and I'm sharing that now. So I get signs of this as well. The student becomes the teacher. And I noticed that in myself. I'm very confident in myself now. I don't lean so much on other people. I already know in myself because I've experienced so much. So I might get a seed sort of like to work on, if you like, from hearing something, and then I'll explore it for myself. And then when I've experienced it myself, it's like I know what's true, what's not true. I know what I'm looking for. I know how to integrate it in my life, and of course I have the signs, and everything just works out. So I think the proof is in the pudding. And what I've done all the way through is the timeline of events. Someone reads my first book of Father's Daughter. There's an early chapter of a psychic reading I had, tarot reading. I just thought it was going to be an innocuous addition to the book. It was just something that happened. I was just sharing my journey as I've gone on this journey for the last maybe 7 years. That was 2017. Yeah, but my actual spiritual awakening didn't happen until 2020. That was like the seeds even for me. So again, someone watches the timelines, you're gonna learn some things. So the main ones were the if you're going to go that there was a couple of tarot readers I had in my life. So I had a tarot reading that just opened my mind completely. The person nearly had me in tears across the table. It's like, wow, how the hell you know me that deeply and those around me? That was surreal. That was eye opening for me. But if we're going to talk about like people actually in my life who I've met, there was a woman named Laurie who came to me after I was writing A Heartbroken Daughter, my second book. She had just read A Father's Daughter. Again, the only mention of anything was the psychic tarot reading. I hadn't mentioned anywhere on Twitter that I was interested in anything else. And I had it in my astrology chart. So at that point, I was really heavily reading my horoscopes. That was my connection. That was where I was like learning information because it was always accurate with me. It's surreal. So I was reading horoscopes and it said you're getting a deeper curiosity into sort of spirituality in the universe, and someone's going to come to you and guide you and mentor you. They're going to really help support you on that journey. And then boom, out of nowhere, this woman just came to me, flooded my inbox on Twitter with information on astrology. There was all sorts of things really, but she was a big one. And she pointed me towards Matt Kahn. She was obsessed with Matt Kahn. I hadn't even heard of this guy. I was like, who's Matt Kahn? So I started watching his videos, and honestly, I became obsessed because it all made sense to me. It was like the first time I've had someone that I can resonate with. It was like making sense on a different level to anyone I'd experienced in my life. Most people are just like, they're very superficial. They're not interested in going beyond their current, whatever they see. But my mind was so far open and I was ready to expand. And this was just making so much sense. Even like when you look at relationships, how they form, how they break down, and just how the ramifications of it, the lifestyles we fall into. It was like, wow, this guy's like, he's on point. And he mentioned soul contracts in that. And it was like, this was eye-opening to me because I hadn't really considered life like that. And again, these are little things, the markers. And then I'm watching and it all makes sense. The elevation. I look at it makes you realize that even the traumas you go through, wasn't there to break us. It was part of that transformation. It's finding that love within ourselves and that. Now, I'm not going to sit and say I think Matt Kahn says is perfect or he doesn't have an agenda. I don't know him personally. I haven't seen his content since 2020. It was literally for like a couple of months, an intense period of my life where I was seeing a lot of his content. I was going to buy his books. I never got round to it. I'm not trying to diminish him in any way. I'm just saying is he was at that point a huge part of my journey. We'll all have like people in us who are good teachers, who you might see and you think I can learn from this person, and you absorb the content. For me, he was that person. It was a person I probably paid the most attention to on my journey. Again, that was back in 2020. Most people have been more fleeting in my life and not as intense. So after I watched his content, I've then gone on my journey and I started to have a lot of like signs and synchronicities all of a sudden occurring. Then I started having things about manifestation. And I wanted a house. I didn't do any manifestation techniques. I was just like doing it myself. I was like, one day I want a house now. I just want to start elevating my life. I've had enough of living in a flat. I want a better life. Now, I didn't expect anything to happen. It'll be like in years to come if I'm lucky. Maybe in my lifetime I'll finally have a house. I mean, some people take it for granted, but some people just don't have that luxury, I didn't know if I'd ever get out of it, to be honest, in that situation. Imagine my surprise. Social housing, I managed to swap a house in the next, someone approached me that week, I kid you not, and within 4 months, we was moved. So that was back in July of 2020, and I relocated in October 2020. Had to go 100 miles, so obviously it wasn't 100% convenient. New life, new location. Why not? That happened. Then a tarot reader someone was doing like video on TikTok, and they said I was divine because saw me in the comments. They said, "You're divine." I said, "What does that mean?" She didn't even know what it meant. She just heard the word divine. And then I started having signs about spirituality. You'll have a career in spirituality, religion. I was like, that's weird. What would that be? You look at my path now, it makes sense. But it said someone will come and you'll be a power couple. They'll help you. You'll do something. And so someone, Kristen York, Sweetly Savage 777, we met in December 2020. Now, she was a huge part of my journey. This was now the first person I'd had who actually hands-on. Matt Khan's content, I hadn't engaged with him. I just saw it. But Kristen was a huge part of my growth and journey. It was like, this is someone who actually, I finally met someone on my level, someone who gets it. They were channeling, they were deeper into their spiritual journey than me. So they were like really clued in. It was beautiful. She did a few tarot readings for me. That was like opening my mind. Then I was activating really fast at that point. That was really like a huge activator because I was getting so many tarot readers just gravitating to me on TikTok at that point. Some giving me readings. They said, I never normally do this. And they normally charge money. And there's usually a queue. And they were just coming to me saying, I don't normally do this, but I feel a huge pull to sort of do this for you. And they're giving me readings. I'm finding out that I have a connection to dragons, the fairies. I've got a lot of Celtic energy in me. There's all these things. I'm sort of learning more about my abilities. Then a lot of them are saying, you're ready to do tarot. You can do tarot for sure. Like someone else, Spirit Whispers 1111, she's been hugely pivotal in my journey. She has visions of my future, and she's such a supportive person. She always says that. I just, I could see how exhausted you are in your eyes. Maybe not now, but back then I was really exhausted. And it breaks her heart, but she knows I have a big purpose, something I came here to do. That was nice. And from a tarot spread, she saw it and recognized the level of ascension that was there. I was like so far gone on my journey. She said, you're at a pivotal point. Once you pass this test, you'll then rapidly evolve. And that was back in 2020. Or 2021, one of the two. So she was a huge part of my journey. Then I've gone on my own little path. Then I met Jessica. Now, me and Jessica hit it off immediately. She's incredibly gifted. She's also has psychic gifts, very powerful. I absolutely trust her. She has deep knowing, and it's like these people are just immense. It's when you connect with them, it's beautiful. Then I went like a solo journey. I'm just exploring things for myself now because I'm always elevating. My gift's always expanding. I'm always getting stronger in myself, So it's important we have mentors, but it's also important we don't lean so heavily on people, You can be inspired, but still go on your own journey and discover things for yourself. Otherwise, you're only hearing it from someone else, So then in July 2023, Spirit Whispered sent me a message where she'd seen me, had a vision of me, like a light and a lighthouse. I kept getting signs of lighthouse, weirdly enough. It was weirdly your lighthouse. I thought, I don't know what that means. So she had a vision without me saying anything to her. She had a vision of this lighthouse and this bright light. Everybody's gravitating towards it. As she got closer, it was me. I thought, whoa. And then she had a vision of me doing talking on stage. So that was pretty cool. But then in September, October, I think it was maybe October 2023, I met Zach. Psychic medium, very gifted, powerful psychic medium, may I say. He can do an awful lot. He can do energy cleansing. He can check your chakras. He can connect with the angelic realm because he's that higher vibration. See, some people can just do mediumship where you connect to your ancestors. That's amazing ability. When you're at a really high vibration, you can connect with the angels, the angelic realm. That's what he was doing. That was life changing. I'm getting conversations with spirit. It's all making sense, And I can see through people. I know when someone's talking shit and when they're not. I know when someone's connected. He was connected. We had Archangel Michael talking through. It was absolutely beautiful. And then through him, I met David Warfer, just back in November of 2023. He deals with the dark and the light realms. So he can banish sort of negative entities. He can actually do all that. So if someone had a situation where there's a haunting or something, there's something going on in your home or there's something happening to you, he can get rid of these entities, which is a very rare skill. Some people can see them. He can get rid of them, which is crazy. And that's where I'm at. I've met all these wonderful people and I'm continuing on my journey. There's also been inspirational speakers that have come across too. So there's been a huge blessing on my life.